Now it's time to add the hazing effect, the foggy effect that we needed. So how can we do this? We will bring this layer, this image of fog. This is an ordinary stock photo. So I will take this layer, put it here to our design, and press enter and change the blending mode into screen. And then we will change its color, pressing Ctrl U, and then press colorize and choose like this blue and desaturate it, and maybe we can make it a little bit less brighter like this, and then press OK. This layer we will use to create all the clouds or the foggy parts for our scene. So I will pick this layer, put it here. I wanted here to explain the places in which the foggy part should appear. The foggy part or the fog should appear at the bottom of each element. For example, in this area here should have some fogs. This area should have some fogs. And of course, in this area behind the man, should have some fog, and this area should have some fog, because the fog and the clouds should be surrounding the lower part of each element. We will duplicate or put this foggy layer here to create a duplication, and let's put it in front of the mountain group here, and this part maybe we can make it bigger like this. Very good. Here is cool. And let's create a mask and erase some edges from this layer. These hard edges should be erased, and the lower parts, and let's duplicate it and put it right here. Very cool. Now it's time to take this layer and put it into the top of the mountains, because there are some clouds around the mountain, the source image itself. So we need to emphasize this. Now we need to duplicate this layer. I guess we need to change its position and duplicate it and put it at the bottom right here. And there is good. So now we need to duplicate this foggy part and put it in the background. This part has a lot of fog, so let's make it bigger like this, and let's duplicate it and put it here. Maybe we can make it smaller and put it here. Very good. Let's decrease the opacity because the effect is too high, and let's duplicate it and put it here. I put a lot of fog in this mid-ground. In my design, I didn't like this part at the left, so I just chose to neglect doing it in front of the camera. So I'm not doing it here in our design, and that's okay. So next we will put the foggy effect in the building 3 group. Let's put it here. Very good. Maybe you can make it smaller. Press Ctrl T and put it right here. Very good. Maybe you can put it above right here. Increase the opacity and change the position until you are satisfied. Maybe we can mask it a little bit better like this. Very good. I'm now going back and forth until I'm satisfied and everything's blended in a good way. Very cool. Now let's duplicate this foggy layer to the building number 2. Let's put it here, increase the opacity, and let's put it right here. And I guess that's it. It doesn't need a lot of work. Maybe we can make it bigger and put it here. Very cool. Maybe we can increase the saturation. I guess that's good. Very good. Press OK. Now it's time to add some fog for this part. I believe that this mid-ground section is not looking cool. So let's get back to the mid-ground section and let's create a solid color adjustment layer. This is a new way to create hazing effect. And I will choose this color and then press OK and press Ctrl I to invert the mask. And with the soft rounded brush, I will just draw some hazing effect here. And this hazing effect will emphasize the foggy effect and it will blend it in a better way. Let's try it. Let's change the color and let's try, I guess let's make it brighter. And here, as you can see here, when we change it and when we draw this hazing effect, it's now kind of blended better. Let's duplicate this layer and put it behind building number 3. Press Ctrl A, Alt backspace, and then draw in this part again. And this is the foggy effect. I guess this is cool. Maybe you can make it brighter. And yeah, I guess this is better because you cannot see the whole elements clearly, and that is what fog effect does. This part and here and there, we're now trying to fade it a little bit because this should be very far away. Maybe we can change the color until we get a decent color, and let's desaturate the color a little bit, and now this is good. Very cool. Maybe you can edit it later, but for now I guess this is good. Change the opacity, lower the opacity, and now it's good to go. Let's duplicate this foggy effect, this solid color layer, and press Ctrl A. Don't forget to be on the mask, and then erase everything. And now let's draw some foggy effect in the building number 2 in these bottom parts. The parts that are a little bit far, but we will not make the effect high. Very good. I guess we need to desaturate this part. Very good. Now it's time to draw some foggy effect into the bridge. Let's duplicate this layer, press Alt and drag it, drop it, and then press Ctrl A, Alt backspace, and now let's draw some foggy effect in this bottom part here with a soft rounded brush and decrease the flow. And as you can see here, this is the shape of the foggy effect. And let's duplicate this foggy layer that we have already used in the other parts. And now, as you can see, this is looking fantastic. Let's erase these parts, the edges, and then we can duplicate the foggy layer and make it smaller, because I want the fog here to intersect with the bridge itself. You know, there should be some fog intersecting the bridge itself, the way. So let's erase these sharp edges, and now here's before and here is after. I guess this is better. Very cool. Now it's time to add some vignetting effect. I will create a curves adjustment layer here, but it will be behind the building number 1. Let's decrease the brightness and press Ctrl I to invert the mask, and we will darken the edges because I think it needs to be darkened. This will frame our visual, as you know, these parts. And let's change the blending mode into luminosity. Maybe some parts from here, not so much. But as you can see before and after, this vignetting effect, maybe make it a bit higher. and then let's erase some parts from here. That's good. Very cool. This is better.